Today in the crypto space, we see the market looking pretty good. Bitcoin at around 62,000, up approximately 1%. Ethereum at about 3,400, looking pretty bullish here, up approximately 3%. And the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins deep in the green, many good gainers today. Look at Sheep, Filecoin, Bonk, Arweave, and many, many more. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator. But more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin, one project that is looking really good. It bounced heavily after its nice level of support, and that project is called Neon. So you know what, let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome on the channel. We talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. Obviously, Bitcoin as a leading indicator going sideways is pretty healthy for the altcoin market. You can see kind of it taking a bit of a dip. Although Ethereum is taking a bit of a dip as well, it is still up 4%. So the question is Bitcoin dominance falling? And of course, tonight we'll take a look at Bitcoin, we'll take a look at Ethereum, we'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance, we'll take a look at all the requests, and I'll put them in top priority. But as of now, as we can see it, it looks like Ethereum is holding up a lot better than Bitcoin on this little dip. It's a small dip, right? So this is the thing. Are we seeing a little bit of a rotation? Capital moving in from Bitcoin into Ethereum. And now maybe even as Ethereum hits that $3,500 mark, is it rotating also now to larger cap altcoins? And this could be very possible. Solana right now is on a tear. It is up 18% in the last 24 hours. Pretty good to see Solana make a move like that. And we can expect that all Solana-based ecosystem projects are also doing very well. The meme coins, all the other extra layers, all the opportunities, all the DeFi projects, and so on and so forth. And of course, this is why I want to talk about Neon, because Neon got a nice bounce off that horizontal level of support that we discussed last night. In fact, if you took that signal nice and early, you're up significantly. That thing is running. It's up 40% as we speak. We'll take a look at Neon in a bit. But for now, let's continue looking at the general market. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator. Then we'll jump on the Neon chart. Let's continue here. What else do we see? We see a lot of good momentum to the upside. Continuation. Cardano up 10%. Guys, Cardano has been doing well in the last little while. You got to admit, Cardano's looking very strong and doing pretty good, slow, steady grind to the upside. Cardano's showing a lot of strength. AVAX finally waking up 11%. So we're seeing a lot of the larger cap altcoins do very well. The ecosystem projects, the Cardanos and the Avalanches, the Polkadots. I'm hoping the Polkadots does well too. And what else do we have? We have Sheep doing great. The dog coins have been doing well in the last few days. So protect those gains, guys. If you're in some good profits on those meme coins, I would definitely trail up a stop loss and maybe take 10% off the top just in case. But at the end of the day, always find ways to protect those gains. The market tends to want to take them back. What else do we have here? We should see Cosmos wake up. Immutable X is finally going sideways. Aptos is waking up. Filecoin is getting ready for another impulsive move to the upside, making that higher high, as you can see after this local consolidation. It's up 16.5%. So a continuation to the upside is definitely there. Stacks is taking a break based on Bitcoin kind of going sideways and looking a little slumpy here, so that's expected. And your protocol is doing okay after some sideways price action. So you can see that generally speaking, this market is looking okay still. There's no real reason to get into any trade shorting at this moment. Trying to front run a short could get you wrecked. Wait for signals, wait for confirmations, wait for structure. Then after that, you can make some calculated decisions, because the edge is all about gaining that probability. It's all about statistical probability. And if you don't get that edge, there's no real reason to take that type of risk. Injective looking really good. VeChain at least going sideways, and the list goes on. 7% for Kronos, that's pretty good. I'm happy to see that. Major exchanges, Arweave has no chill. It's up 100% in the last 7 days, guys. Doing great. And in fact, it also even retraced a little bit of a retracement in the last little while, and it's still up 16.5%. So good on you guys. If you happen to get a great entry on Arweave, I did cover Arweave a couple days ago. So the entries as a breakout, absolutely great. It worked out awesomely. So if you are able to get a bit of profit here, great. I would be protecting those gains as well. Let's continue going down. We have Algorand finally waking up. In fact, I like the slow grind. I really do like to see slow grinds like this because you don't leave volume gaps behind, which means that empty weak spots below doesn't mean that it will retrace really hard. So I kind of like this. So, you know, these slow grinds to the upside give me a bit more confidence than quick rockets to the top. You tend to want to take profits faster on those rockets. What else do you have? Ortiz, we have FET AI doing great, another 16%. The market is still hot, guys. You can't deny it. Still looking good. The altcoins are primed. A lot of them are primed, ready for a move to the upside. We have Blur doing okay, sideways, maybe looking for support, and then a continuation to the upside. Guys, we also have Neo doing okay, breaking out previous highs, 13%. It's a pretty OG project, so I understand, you know, that you got to do a bit of a deep dive to figure out what its ecosystem is up to lately. Oasis doing great, another 16%. Guys, so we can't deny the market is still great. Overall, top 100 is showing us that the interest is in altcoins. They're outperforming Bitcoin, and for that matter, they're even outperforming Ethereum. So the question is, again, are we seeing a distribution of the capital from the large caps to the lower caps, and that cycle happening basically allows us to see our portfolio run, especially if you're heavy into those altcoins. All right, guys, let's get right into it. I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin looking at Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on here with Bitcoin. It's hesitating. So upon hesitation, we basically give altcoins the opportunity. And this is what's basically happening. Now, if Ethereum also hesitates, we could also be expecting a very similar type of scenario. We start to see the cycle continue. Bitcoin kind of cool off, allowing the capital to flow into ETH cools off, allowing the capital to get into the large caps. And this is kind of a signal that I'm seeing. Ethereum already did very well. In tonight's live stream, we'll talk about Ethereum. We'll take a look at the whole narrative to see what's happening with this altcoin season. All right, guys, let's look at this in a little bit more detail. We can see as Bitcoin kind of gets to this level, it's looking a bit frothy. It's getting there. I know I've called and I said that it's looking frothy here. It's looking frothy here. Yes, I still feel like all this area is a very frothy zone, a zone that could get a lot of people wrecked, right? So we got to understand that also we invalidated bearish divergences here on the daily. There's no more bearish divergence, okay? We made that higher high right here. We broke the trend on the momentum oscillator, and it's done. Bitcoin could definitely continue going sideways for the next little while. If we get on the weekly might look a little bit different. We're making higher highs and higher lows consecutively as we reach the previous highs, guys. And we got that rejection yesterday based on the Coinbase news that basically they shut down the exchange because they couldn't handle the volume. But nonetheless, we are at a critical level right here. We could get a lot of volatility here, but there's no indication just yet. Momentum or trend wise, look at the MACD. EMAs are still facing up with green histogram bars to the upside. So that means that Bitcoin is still okay. So until we get some confirmations on maybe on the daily, the weekly is a bit of a bigger time frame. A correction on the weekly would be a big one. It could happen. That's why I have these green arrows here. Just keep me in check. It could happen, but the reality is a healthy pullback to 40 at this point would be great. And maybe at 32, the 25, as we keep on growing or going to the upside, it's very unlikely that we get down here. But you got to admit, there's a lot of volume on here for support. It would be a deep, retracement and a nice, good confirmation low. But really, I don't think it's going to happen. At this point, if we can get back to about 40K and get support on this horizontal, guys, that would be great at this rate. But even that, the way the ETF kind of brought in so much institutional investors, and now the retail market is waking up, it's starting to show us that ultimately a retracement is going to be very difficult to catch at this point. So ultimately, just wait, guys. Be very patient. I wouldn't be getting into any fresh longs on Bitcoin. I would be waiting for a bit of a retracement market wide. I don't know when it's going to happen. Ultimately, it could happen at any moment. But when that does happen, expect to see a fire sale across the altcoin market. market, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on. If we get into lower time frames here, we don't even have any structure of bearishness here. We invalidated any potential bearishness at this current moment with regards to momentum. The MACD does look a little bearish in the sense that we could get an EMA cross and we could come down a little bit here, get one little red histogram bar to the downside and start, coming down and back testing previous breakout zones, maybe hitting the 43,000, 43,800 or so. This right here could be the next level of a back test and then continuation for that matter. But imagine getting a bigger pattern. Maybe it's some sort of distribution pattern right around the zone. So for me, not an actionable scenario. If I'm going to go short, I need more confirmations. If I'm going to go long, I know I'm buying the top. So you get my point. We got to just kind of let things resolve itself. Show me the next move. We need Bitcoin to actually show us a pattern, a structure, so that we know what to do next. Let's take a look at today's project, which is Neon. Neon looks pretty good. Ultimately, it did great. Yesterday live, we talked about this entry. I kind of hijacked the live stream. I usually don't cover projects that I'm really, really bullish on, especially with regards to its price action. But yesterday I had no choice. We talked about Solana. We saw Solana looking very strong. And then I started thinking, guys, look at all the Solana-based projects. They should be doing very well. Neon, in my opinion, was undervalued. It was still looking for that breakout. And look what happened today. Got a nice pop to the upside, very strong momentum. Now, what I'm thinking here, guys, is that there's a lot of people that are thinking about getting long here. And, really, it did run up significantly. We're at a level of resistance that could cause a bit of a pullback. We haven't really got a real structural change here. A change of character in this structure would give us a really good confirmation that, yes, we're ready to start rocking to the upside. But what kind of retracement could we expect? Look, ultimately, here we're on the 4 hour. I like the 4 hour, time frame to find entries. We're overbought, significantly overbought already here on the RSI. You can see the momentum definitely got into the zone. We could hang out in the zone for a good while, for that matter. I really want to jump into the daily for a second. The daily looks like it wants to get overbought again. So if the daily gets overbought, even coming down for a lower low, something like this. Let's make this visible only on this interval. Even if it comes down like that, where we make a lower high, it could be that we even make another higher high and get another drive to the upside. And we get another big, huge class A bearish divergence or something like that. So we got to understand that even if it gets overbought, we can come right back up to where it came from and make a higher high. And it's very possible. However, entries. Right now, it's about entries. Unfortunately, this is where I was calling the first entries, right around here, okay? Once we got oversold on the 4 hour. Let me show you the 4 hour here for a second. We came down to the zone, oversold. This was an oversold, although it would have been a great entry, right? Especially after we start running to the upside, anywhere in this consolidation would have been great. But really, we weren't oversold at this point, right? When we got to this point, we were oversold. Look where we are here, oversold, green arrow. That's where I look for confluence that way, where I look for oversold conditions on any time frame, and I judge the time frame for its volatility. The 4 hour is not going to be a big move. Generally speaking, we wait for daily moves, but daily moves are a lot bigger. However, for an entry, for a potential shot that this thing reclaims previous highs, it's worth it. Oversold conditions, good level of horizontal support, many touches around the zone. We touched in both price action targets by the dip zones right here, green arrow, and all of a sudden we're moving. It does look like a shoulder, a head, a potential shoulder. That's fine. It does look like a confirmation low, a higher low. Definitely great indication. A bit of a break of trend. Sure, great. Good confluence right here. We breaking above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour. Not bad at all. Lots of volume in this move. A bit of volume. As you zoom in, you can see in comparison to every other impulsive move to the upside, it definitely contends. A nice move to the upside. We see the RSI very overbought. We saw the MACD get its EMA cross, and look at the EMAs getting across and open with green histogram bars to the upside in the bullish control zone. And you can ultimately say that we've came from a bearish state and is slowly trying to get bullish again to get to the bullish control zone. Guys, this is potentially another bottom for another wave to the upside where we can make that higher high. Now, what about our extension levels? Where are our targets next? We got to be real with this. The previous high is definitely it. One of the targets, you got to understand where we're going to get a bit of volatility. We got a lot of people that are holding the top right here, that bought in on the top with exit liquidity, and that are pretty salty right now. They're looking to dump their bags as soon as they break even. Consider that to be an option. Then we start looking at extension levels, which you guys know I like, because that's the only thing you could really use with regards to TA when you're in price discovery. Extension levels right here, 1.27, 1.618 extension. Both great levels that should act as potential resistance or profit-taking zones. People de-risking at this level because they're in profits. So why not take a bit of profits between this range? So I start looking at extension levels when I have no other confluence. We could also use psychological numbers, like round numbers, $6, $5 are probably better, you know, $10, $100. Nice round numbers are usually great places to consider reactions. Those psychological levels sometimes work out really good. So here we are. We're looking at previous high, maybe de-risk, because look at that. From where we are right now, okay, or where we were by the dip opportunity right here. Let's go right in the middle just to be modest. Okay, whatever. What are we looking like? We're looking at 230%, just hitting the 1.27. Just right here, you're looking at 132, 130. You've already doubled your money and then some. And all the way at the 1.618, you're looking at 300% profit, which is decent, guys. This is a decent move to the upside. If we see Solana continue holding strength, its whole ecosystem will show strength, and Neon, of course, is part of that. So guys, if you want to know a little bit more about Neon, guys, I do produce these deep dives every Sunday. The last time I covered a Neon, obviously I give you regular updates, was 2 weeks ago, and it was showing perfect setup for this buy opportunity. And then of course last night we covered it again. But if you're looking for a deep dive, I do have a deep dive right here for you guys that was produced 2 months ago. Go check it out, because you got all the fundamentals that you need to get fundamentally bullish, so that when you get those dips, you are not fearful. You're getting in with conviction. You like the technology, you like the team, the tokenomics, the utility, all that good stuff, and that way you can get in with a bit of conviction. All right, guys, so what about now? Let's talk about the current scenario. The current scenario is, I know you might be on the sidelines looking for entries. That's a very difficult thing, right? We want a bit of a retracement. My opinion is, if you have a long-term vision, you don't mind getting in right now. Reason being is that you can see that there's a bit of an accumulation range. If we exclude a bit of the price action, you can see a lot of participation in the zone, a lot of market participation and anticipation for a continuation to the upside. So what you have to understand is that because there's volume, should you be a part of this volume? Should you be a part of this group? And I would say DCA, buy a little bit now. If it does come down to backtest any breakout zone, maybe at about $1.32 for a golden pocket retracement, I would get in again with a little bit more. Double down, get in with a little bit of a bag that's bigger than the previous. That way you can drag your average entry price down to lower levels. And hopefully, of course, no certainties and not financial advice, that hopefully we continue this move to the upside where we see Solana and Neon do very well, because we need that ecosystem strength overall to see this thing go. I still feel we're in a good state for accumulation. And of course, the bottom has passed. This was the time to get in, but I feel like a lot of people are looking for those entries, and I would wait for a little bit of a retracement here to slightly lower levels, but still build a position starting now. Wouldn't be that bad. If you look at it, it's pretty good. All-time highs, you're looking at 200%, give or take. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, you know what you got to do. You got to slap the like button. This really help out with the algorithm. And of course, I'm going to be live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects you want me to cover here, that is a great time and place to make requests, and I'll put them in top priority. If you want to join that Discord, the Discord is a great community, lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. And guess what? It's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.